We're going to work on different topics today in maths, but basically they all is around numbers. Now we start with 5 topics, all in one. They're going to be multiples, prime numbers, composite numbers, factors, and prime factors. Today we're going to learn what multiples are, what prime numbers are, what composite numbers are, what are factors, and what are prime factors. We're going to look at some examples as well. How we can look for our factors and how we can also look for prime factors in every given numbers. The multiple of a number adjusts the values in its timetables. Yes, the multiples of a number adjust the values in its timetable. Now let's take for example, we are asked to find the first 5 multiples of 12. All we need to do is just to find the first 5 numbers in the 12 times table. For example, 12 times 1 is what? 12. 12 times 2 is what? 24. 12 times 3 is 36. 12 times 4 is 48. And 12 times 5 is 60. Now, you see that the multiples of 12 in incremental level or stages keeps going. For example, 12 times 1 will give you 12. That's 12 in one place. Now 12 in 2 places is 24. 12 in 3 places is 36. 12 in 4 places is 48. And 12 in 5 places is what? 60. So that is how you look for multiples. It's very easy and it's very straightforward. You just have to find the first 5 numbers in the 12 times table to get the 5 multiples of 12. Now, what is a prime number? A prime number is one that only has 2 factors, itself and 1. As some will say, a prime number is a number that can only divide itself and 1, or divisible by itself and 1 only. That is true. So it only has 2 factors. So the factor in itself is that number and 1. That is what a prime number is. Prime numbers includes numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 30, and 17, and so on, and so many other prime numbers. Remember, prime numbers only have 2 factors, itself and 1. 2, for example, has 2 factors, 1 and 2. You can only divide 2 with 2, and 1 can also be divided. 2 can also be divided by 1. Same thing applies to 3 as well. It's 3 and 1. 3 will divide itself and 1. No number will go into 3 apart from 3. The same thing applies to 5. No number will go into 5 aside 5 and 1. 7 is the same thing, 11 is the same, 13 is the same, 17 is the same, 19 is the same, 23 is the same, and so many other prime numbers in the series. Now, what's a composite number? Or what's a composite number? Now, a composite number is one that has more than 2 factors. So invariably, I would say a composite number are like the opposite of prime numbers. Where prime number have just 2 factors only, composite number have more than 2 factors. Composite number have more than 2 factors. So any other number aside a prime number is a composite number, except 1. Yeah, any other number aside prime numbers is a composite number, except 1. Remember, 1 is not a prime number. Note, 1 is not a prime number. But a composite number is one that has more than 2 factors. Now, composite numbers include numbers like 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, and so on, but not a prime number. So composite number are numbers that have more than 2 factors. 4, for example, have more than 2 factors. I'll show you how that works. Now look at 4. This is 4. Yeah. Now the factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. So we can see that we have 1, 2, 3 factors of 4, which invariably is more than 2, unlike the prime number that has just 2 factors. So 4 is a composite number. So same applies to 6 as well. 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, and other numbers in the series that has got more than 2 factors with them. Now we want to know what a factor is. Most of you already know what a factor is, though, but for the benefit of this lesson, or for the purpose of this lesson, we will need to talk about it and probably look into it as well. Now, a factor is a number that divides exactly into another number. Or did I say again? A factor is a number that divides exactly into another number. That means the factor will divide the number without any remainder. It will divide the number outrightly. Now, to look for a factor of a number, how do we do that? Now, the first thing we want to do, we want to start off by looking for numbers that will divide into a given number. Let's see how that is done. Yeah. So what we need to do, we start off by looking for numbers that will divide into the given number outrightly. Let's say, for example, number 28. We want to look for the factors of that number 28. How do we start this? What we want to do first is we look for numbers between 1 and 28 that can divide into it outrightly. We look for numbers between 1 and 20 that can divide into 28 outrightly without remainder. Now, 1, for example, we go to 28 times. 2, we go into 28 14 times. Can 3 go into 28 without remainder? The answer is no. So 3 is not a factor of 28. Now let's look at 4. Yeah, 4 will go into 28 7 times. What about 5? 5 will not. 6 will not. But 7 will go into 28 4 times. What other numbers can divide 28 outrightly without remainder? We have 14. Yeah, and we have 28. So these are the factors of 28. These are the factors of 28 because they will divide into 28 outrightly without any remainder. So that automatically becomes the factor of that number 28. I hope that is clear. Now we'll move on to the next one, which is a prime factor. A prime factor. What is a prime factor? Yeah, a prime factor is a factor that also happens to be a prime number. It's a factor that also happens to be a prime number. What we are saying invariably is that a prime factor is part of a factor of a number, but is that one that is a prime number that has only just 2 factors within the factor of a number. I'll give you an example. Okay, let me give you an example. Now to start with, we are going to use the factor tree to look for our prime factors. We will use what we call the factor tree. Factor what we call the factor tree. We use what we call the factor tree. Sorry, the factor tree. Now, how do we use the factor tree to look for prime factors? Now, let's say we are given the number 30. Yeah, number 30, for example, to look for the prime factor of 30. Yeah. So, firstly, we want to start by splitting 30 into two factors. What are those two numbers that can be multiplied together to get 30? We multiply them together to get 30. We can use 10 and 3. We can use 6 and 5. We can also use 30 and 1. Yeah, whichever one you use, you will still get the desired result. But it's better to use 10 and 3 or 6 and 5 because we already have 30 here. So it's needless using 30 and 1. So how do we start that? First, we split the factor into 2. Yeah, we have 6. I will go with 6 and 5. We have 6 and 5. Yeah, 6 and 5. Now, we can still split 6 into two factors. That would be 3 times 2. Now, if we look at this, we'll notice that 3, 2, and 5 are what? They are prime numbers. 5 is a prime number, 2 is a prime number, and 3 is a prime number. So, the prime factor of 30 will be 2, 3, and 5. And to check, if you multiply 2 by 3, 2 times 3 times 5 will get 2 times 3 will be 6, and 6 times 5 will still give you 30. So 2, 3, and 5 are the prime factors of 30. Guys, I hope this lesson will help you guys to understand the topics that we've treated today. Do more practice. If there's any part of the assignments that is great to you, please revisit this video and see for yourself where you're making error, and then if you can correct yourself by running through this video. That somehow will help you to solve the questions in the right way. Well, thank you and God bless. See you again some other time. Bye bye.